maybe this is turning into a rant and not a review. Negro. What? Joint account. What? Baby. Who likes? Who likes? Who likes? Who likes? Who likes? Who? Whomst is liking doing all of their adult domestic labor? Whomst? Yes, your mother might have cooked and cleaned and held a job. Great. Mbokoto for her. Ramoshapala matsogo. Well done that she could do it. We are not trying to be those people. We are tired. Why would you make that statement that basically says, if I was to say this in front of my mother, it would shame you as a woman? That's a problem. That's a problem. Fight your own battles. Leave your mother out of it. Wait, time. Leave your mother out of it. Like, baby, what? Get it together, Tammy. Get it together. Patong. No way. The older we get, yeah, your body it will fight you back at the flying kick to let you know that what you're drinking right now is not helping us as a team. Strangers, can we just stranger danger? Stranger danger. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rakhadi's View, where I am the Rakhadi who gives my view on reality. And welcome to Married at First Sight, episode 3. This is a catch up review because I have not actually posted the later episodes. So I'm reviewing the earlier episodes. I'm reviewing the earlier episodes and the later ones at the same time to catch up to where we are because I started reviewing this show in the middle of the season. So, but we're going to get on track. Oksalayo is that the episodes will be there for you to listen to enjoy, to giggle, and to cackle, because that's why we're here, and to learn some life lessons. So, welcome and thank you for coming into the area. Welcome. Welcome. Rakgadi wa amogela ka lerato la love. So, grab your drink, get comfortable, do your errands, put this on the way to work or just when you're in the car, wherever you're at. I really am sending you love and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's get into it. Episode 3. So we start, this is the day after the weddings and after the honeymoon night, Yamatomo. So we start with Dee and Kuzo, who in the morning speak about, how was your experience yesterday? Turns out that, we left them last night where Dee had said she was going to shower and sleep in the other room and leave Kuzo to also just sleep in whatever room he's going to choose. However, we find out that in the morning, in the wee hours of the morning, Dee went into Kuto's bed and, we thought it was just for a snuggle and a cuddle. Turns out it was for something else. And they later tell us that they did consummate the marriage, which, okay, strangers though, but y'all are straight, guys. Kuto says he still feels like he's gotten 80% of what he wants and the other 20% not so much, but they're both happy with who they were paired with. In her diary entry, Dee is crying, girl, tears, because, she was saying that, her therapist would always tell her that they are these men, which she doesn't elaborate what kind of men, but I presume good men that are around, and she never used to think that they actually existed. And now she's married to one and met one, and so she's just delighted and just can't believe that they actually exist. And so she's crying from happiness, and we are happy for you, Dee. Go girl. Then we go to Makuba and Tabang, busy, breakfast, the mole, on the balcony, feeding each other the fruitsy, being lovey-dovey. You can see they're both also very happy with each other. They are in Maratong Fontaine, loving it. She says that he's very affectionate, which is something that she enjoys as well. And then, Tabang brings up the fact that, like, listen, now I host club gigs. That's what I do. It's my side hustle on the weekends. And you can see that I'm a pretty boy teddy bear. Okay, girls want this teddy bear. So, whether how are you going to handle that, moving forward? And she says, yeah, look, I know that you're a good looking guy and I'm not going to try and stop you from doing the work that you do, but I just don't want random people phoning me in the middle of the night telling me, what are you doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as long as you tell me beforehand that you're going to be at this particular place doing whatever you're going to be doing, it makes my life a little bit easier. Tabang says his concern for the both of them at this point is that Bapapa Bali too, both of us, Sila. So he thinks that might be a little bit problematic when it comes to them being in arguments or disagreements and having to resolve them, because when one goes high, the other will be higher, and then we will just. But I don't know how they're going to sort that out. We're going to see. Then we go to Pitsepo and Sevenzile. They also just both adjusting to being married and they're eager to get into their real life together and see how things go. We go to Tammy and Zitobile. They wake up the next morning. Turns out things were rough for them. They didn't have a pretty honeymoon like other people. So that is because Zitobile ended up crying. She says Tammy made her cry. And that's because what had happened. Woo, guys, over a gown. So Tabby had wanted her to remove his gown from his body. Wait till Tammy ki diva. I'm just gonna say Tammy nkarki diva. That's what I'm getting. Diva is the vibes that he's giving us. But anyway, he wanted his gown removed, and so she removed the one sleeve, and then she asked him to remove the other sleeve because it was, on the other side of his body, and it would be easier for him to reach. Then he was like, "Why can't she just do it? It's just one sleeve. It's just removing the gown." Clearly, that escalated. Zitobile started crying because she was frustrated. She says when she's frustrated, she cries, and she can be quite an emotional person. And Tammy told her basically that she ruined the evening by her crying, which probably made her cry harder. Yo, listen, yeah. I mean, she says it. She says that, in her diary entry, I think that Tammy is a certain type of person who doesn't know how to deal with emotions, to handle hers. And I think it's very evident that I think Tammy speaks frankly. Sometimes he speaks without thinking if the things that I'm saying are going to land in a proper way to this other person. Um, and are they kind? And I do believe that I think when it comes to Tammy's emotional maturity, there's a question mark there because I don't know if he's actually also really ever had to deal with emotionally deep relationships that require levels of authenticity and engaging with our feelings and naming our feelings. But we are yet to see. But it does seem like, Oko sub A when it comes to emotions and handling them and naming them. But we'll see. But yeah, no, it was a little bit rough. Anyway, they all go out and they do some honeymoon activities. D and Kuto go riding a bike along the coastline. Very beautiful. We are showing off once again, cinematographers, directors, cameramen. We're showing off the beauty of Plate. It looks beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Tepo and Sevenzile, they go ATV riding in the forest. Looks great. We're kissing, we're cuddling. Homonate, go love. Tammy and Zitobile, they go and do a little mini safari retreat, which you actually are going to have to forgive me because I fast forward through some of that because personally, I do not like to see animals in captivity at all, particularly wild animals. So yeah, I can't engage in those types of visuals. And then Tabang and Makumo, they go on their, they have to leave actually, Plate, because she has to go back to work. And so they don't do any of the activities. So we see them getting out of the van and they've arrived at these apartments, these furnished apartments where they're all going to be living. They get into the apartment, they're looking around, it's very cute. There's a little picture of them at their wedding that's put in a frame, to sort of to make the house a home. Shem. Bazami, like a teko in the apartments. Makumo says that this is, she chooses her bedroom and her bed with her bathroom. And Tabang's just like, no, I don't know how long we're going to keep to that arrangement, seeing that we actually slept in the same bed last night. So I also don't know how long they're going to keep to that arrangement, but we'll see. It seems like the ladies are protesting in front of the cameras about how virtuous they are, and in front of cameras, we're telling other people to go sleep in other rooms, but then behind the cameras, trough hard. So I don't know. I don't know. But, we've also been raised in a system that would also make us believe that, our virtue is valuable. But, like, guys, if you're a freak, you're a freak. Wawana. If orata pipi, orata pipi. It's okay. It's okay. Say it. It's okay. We know. Get it in. And the pipi imonate vele. So, but anyway, we're not here for that. We're reviewing. Then they start discussing housework. How are they going to split up the housework? Tabang says for him, cooking is really not his steez at all, and he would prefer to do the dishes. And they're like, yeah, listen, as long as we communicate, things will be fine. They do a little rock, paper, scissors, and Tabang loses, and he has to make dinner for that night. Then we see the rest of the couples coming back from their honeymoon, and they're also getting into their apartments. They're unpacking, same story. Buitsepo and Sevenzile talk about, well, how do they sort of like their space set up? And I feel like this lighting is just, yeah. So Buitsepo and Sevenzile talk about what are their pet peeves, things that they don't like and do like, so that they can prepare moving into with each other. And um, who was this? Sevenzile says he hates clutter, and she says that she hates a dirty bathroom. So it seems like they are, you know, paired well in that regard when it comes to keeping things neat and tidy in the home. Then we see Tammy and Tobile also packing up their suitcases, getting ready to go to their apartments. And Tammy is basically saying that Tobile must pack his suitcase, and she's like, "What?" Then he says this line, that what would his mother think if he heard that he was packing his own suitcase? This type of emotional manipulation is a problem, Tammy, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Because I think it is something that is is prevalent, I think, when it comes to the male and female dynamic, particularly in these households where traditional ideas and values around gender roles are still upheld. Why would you make that statement that basically says, if I was to say this in front of my mother, it would shame you as a woman? That's a problem. That's a problem. Fight your own battles. Leave your mother out of it. Wait, time. Leave your mother out of it. Leave your mother out of it. Did you ask her to even pack your? You didn't even ask her to pack your suitcase. You made a statement as to why are you not packing my suitcase. Problem. Time is going to be a problem. Jeez, Louise. Then he talks about they should also be setting up a joint account for their money because now they are married. His justification is that Sitopile talks about them being in a partnership. So if they're in a partnership, they need to partner with their money. Negro. What? Joint account, what? Baby. She 2 days she's known you. You guys are strangers. 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 Can we just stranger danger? Stranger danger. Joint account ya mang. Ke sebetsa. Baby. I mean, you guys know nothing about each other's spending habits. You don't even know who's in what kind of debt, who's got which investments. how people are handling their households, their expenses. Like, baby, what? Get it together, Tammy. Get it together. That's all. No way. So then we move on to, okay, so they do go to the apartments. And then they start unpacking. Everybody gets in. They're also seeing their pretty pictures and that they've set things up. And then we cut to Makuma and Tabang, who are back in their apartment. And because they've been there, they arrived first. There, Tabang is complaining about what is there to eat. And Makuma was like, okay, let's have another conversation because number one, you see the hours that I work. I wake up early in the morning, I come back late at night. So, what do you think is going to work for you? Then Tabang is like, no, nah, for him, cooking really doesn't work for him. It really doesn't work for him. He would rather wash the dishes. Question. A question. What were you doing before you had a spouse? And this is a question that I actually had with a couple of my friends the other day in terms of what happens in the mind of a man once he's married or once he's partnered and living with somebody that whatever functions you were performing for yourself to keep yourself alive domestically, buying groceries, cleaning, cooking, all of those things to keep yourself alive and fed that you were doing. What where is the switch that, like, once there is a woman who is in the same vicinity and living in the same household with you, that those things need to stop? And it's not all men, because there's Kuto o tlhatswa dipenti, okay, re motho a anega washing in his first scene. So we know we're not talking about guys like Kuto. As for the rest, who enjoys cooking do you think I enjoy cooking every day? Do you think I enjoy having to do my laundry? Do you know how exhausting it is, guys? Like, to think about the fact that, I can even cook, and maybe I'll cook and I'll make a meal that I know, okay, I can eat it today and I can also eat it tomorrow. But that day after, the very thought that I have to cook again, do you think that just inspires me to chorus every week? Yes, there's some things that we can enjoy doing, but like living and being an adult and keeping yourself clean and alive requires us to do a lot of things that we don't like to do. So, what is it that is going through Tabang's mind that would make him think that because he doesn't like to cook, then he doesn't have to cook? You are what? I think he's 28 years old or something. Who's cooking for you now? Who's doing your laundry? Wait a minute. You know what? I'm getting heated. I'm getting heated. And really, let's not. But, I think in terms of negotiating domestic duties and responsibilities, I am really, really going to need heterosexual men to come to the party and understand that it is a negotiation, it is not a given. I too don't like to do these things. I too am working just like you. So we can look at what were you doing for yourself and what was I doing for myself, and what are the things that we'd like to continue. Maybe I don't mind having to do the majority of this. You don't mind having to do the majority of that. But guys, in this modern day and age where we all tired, okay, where capitalism is stepping on all of our necks every day, it is a joint responsibility. Joint. That's just the advice that I'm going to give you. If you want peace in your household as a man, please know that you have to negotiate domestic responsibilities. It is not a given. Yes, your mother might have cooked and cleaned and held a job. Great. Mbokoto for her. Well done that she could do it. We are not trying to be those people. We are tired because we are now also having to face our own internal demons and figure out who we are. We are doing our shadow work. We are going to gym. We are trying to stay fertile. There's lots of things. We are at the office. We are trying to be, boss ladies. But when we come here, we are trying to also be some. There's a lot of things that we also have to now do because we are at the next evolution of humanity that our mothers didn't have to do. And so we've got a lot more on our plate emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and psychologically. So when it comes to the domestic duties, you're going to have to do your portion of the work. Please. Whew. Maybe this is turning into a rant and not a review. Woo! Anyway, Makuma then sets up a spa day little treat for Tabang in lieu of them not having a honeymoon in plate. Tabang was pleasantly surprised, a little teddy bear. He was loving it because he says in all of his previous relationships, no one has ever done anything for him. He's always been the person doing things for other people, shelling out the cash, paying for the experiences. And it's just lovely to see. It really is just lovely to see that, he's received the gift well and like Shem teddy bear happy whenever. So yes, rest of the couples come in to the apartments, they're unpacking. We see Buitepo and Sebenzile, and she asks him, does his mother know that he's now married and that he has a wife? Sebenzile's response is that he told his mother, quote unquote, see me now, see me no more. What? Is this the foundation? Is this the foundation, Sebenzile, that you are building for a relationship between your mother and her daughter-in-law and you? I do have a question mark around his communication because that was just not making sense. And I can see why Buitsepo was also just like question mark in the face. Then Dee and Kuzo also discussed division of labor. Dee basically says she doesn't like doing anything, any household work. Who likes? Who likes? Who likes? Who likes? Who likes? Who? Whomst is liking doing all of their adult domestic labor. Whomst. And I said all of. There's things we might like, I might prefer cooking over cleaning, I might prefer doing the garden work. I might prefer doing repair work outside. But whomst is it who likes to do everything? Guys. Anyway, Kuta says he'll wash the dishes every day, and then she decides she'll make breakfast every day. Fine. They have a couple's dinner where everybody's meeting for the first time. They also everybody gets to meet Makumo for the first time because the other ladies didn't meet her before the wedding because of work vibes. And so now this is their first couple's dinner together. But Tabang and Makumo are late because she finishes work late, so he has to wait for her. So we get there, everybody's drinking, hugging. Oh, so good to see you. We're all together again. But then people start going in on Kuzo not drinking. I think it was Tabang who started it, or Buitepo, I can't remember. And I was just like, this also just speaks to just our drinking culture in South Africa. Why is it like seeing a unicorn in the streets when you meet somebody who doesn't drink, guys? People are not drinking for whatever reasons they're not drinking. In this day and age, people are also taking care of their health and just recognizing that this thing is a toxin. The older we get, yeah, your body it will fight you back at the flying kick to let you know that what you're drinking right now is not helping us as a team. It's fighting back. But this is just the culture of South Africa, which I hope is changing because I think I personally am seeing more people out there who are like that, and it's okay. Anyway, so about his drinking. But Dee, thank goodness, she stood up for her man and she was like, leave him alone. But I think she also doesn't drink. Anyway, they go around and they say, let's talk about the green flags and the red flags that we've observed so far in our people. And Zitobile says her red flag is that Tammy is very stubborn and that he doesn't pick up after himself. Her green flag is that his love language is body touch, which is something that she didn't know that she could get used to, but she thinks she's starting to like, which is great. Happy for them. Tammy says his red flag is that Zitobile is a crybaby. Everybody was shooketh at the table. I think like there was a car screech. Yeah, it was rough because they were like, cry baby. Those words are very just. Wabona, once again, I just have to put a question mark next to Tammy's emotional intelligence and awareness of others. And reading a room doesn't seem like that's his thing. And it's a problem. But we'll see how it plays out. He says the green flag is that she's beautiful and she's a great listener. So high five for her. Then Buitepo says she can't find any red flags at the moment. You know, her man treats her like a flower, a princess. Okomaratung. Choke on it, girls. She's having a good time. Then D says Kuto's red flag is that he doesn't always open up and express himself. And, you know, she wishes that he would. And the green flag is that he's willing to compromise, which she's happy about. Kuto says his red flag is male friends and these male besties. So I think it is evident that D clearly has some male friends and he's not on board with that. That sparks some other comments from other people who are also like, yeah, what is this besties thing? You know, Buitsepo says, you know, our grandmothers and great grandmothers didn't have male besties. So why would we be carrying on now? I'm going to reserve my comments on that. I don't know. People navigate your life how you navigate your life. Then Tabang says his red flag is TikTok and that Makumo is always on TikTok and she is always on her phone. And that's a problem for him. So she's deep in social media. Says the green flag is that she finds humor in a lot of things and brings lightness to even serious situations, which she's happy about. Makumo's green flag is that Tabang is very affectionate and that he loves touch, and you know she's responding very well to that. Loving it. And then Sebenzile says his only red flag is that Buitepo and the level of skin that she exposes. And then she's like, what? And he's like, nah, showing off a lot of skin with these outfits. You know, and her response to that is that clearly, you know, she used to be a fatty and she's lost a lot of weight. And so, you know, she's feeling her oats, she's feeling her body. And she doesn't know what can she do with herself. And so she's showing it off. And I don't know, we're going to have to see how they navigate that because also difficult things between two people is your body. But Kiyomoto is telling you the problem. What is she going to do? I guess we will see how she proceeds to dress herself in the rest of the episodes going forward. But that is all I have for episode 3. We got through it. And it actually was, I mean, it wasn't, you know, the most exciting episode, but, you know, we're setting the stage, giving some context. But I hope you enjoyed it. You made it to the end. Oh my gosh. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I forget to keep saying that, but y'all know, we are trying to make it to monetization. It is the goal. And thank you so much for making it to the end. And I am sending you so much love. And remember to spread love, not hate. Ciao from Rakadi.